What's happening, gang? Welcome back for another episode of Waynecast. I'm Rob Johnson. Joining me in our Louisville Speakeasy today is our favorite co-host, Chris Williams. What's up?
Yo, how's it going?
And we have a special treat, our project manager, the man that runs our Louisville operation, Joel Weiland. What's up?
Hey, man. Glad to be here.
Welcome. So we're 75 episodes deep. This is your first time on us. It's 70-something episodes deep. Julie's going to get mad if I give a specific number, so we won't do that. So glad to have you on the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for having me.
So, Joel, just for the listeners, kind of give them a day in the life of what you do around these parts.
Yeah, man. So I usually show up an undisclosed amount of time before everyone else and get my coffee and get to looking at emails and things like that. But, man, most of the time we're just working with our podcasters. So we have a pretty good rotation of excellent shows that come in that are serviced really well by one of our two engineers out of this office. And then we also have our head of video here right now. And we produce a lot of videos, produce a lot of podcasts, and continuing to grow in that.
That's cool. And just before this, you were not in the marketing game.
Not even a little bit, man. I was slinging phones. You found me when I was a poor child looking for a big boy job coming out of the first year of the pandemic. But yeah, man.
No, that's how we prefer to do it. So on the show today, there's a couple different things I want to talk about. I want to talk about Life in Lou, which is a show that you and Andrew, who is engineering this fine podcast, have started. And then I want to talk about the podcast summit that we have coming up in June. So if you're listening to this show is dropping on the 29th, and then the podcast summit is set for June 16th. So we'll start with the summit, then we'll go into Life in Lou. So largely for the podcast summit, this was John Stone's brainchild. We've been talking about this for a while, but with COVID, we really haven't had the opportunity to actually, do it. So that's been a challenge. So what we decided to do is put together this event for podcasters where we can all get together and mingle and learn about each other's shows. And then I'll be doing the keynote presentation on how podcasting impacts businesses, media. And then we'll also be doing just a Q&A on general podcasting information, general, how-tos, industry tips, pro tips, things that we've seen from doing. I've been doing podcasts since 2014. So just things that we've seen, in the last 8 years, different trends and whatnot. What are you most excited about for the summit?
Yeah, man. Louisville is just a really awesome, beautiful city with just a lot of diverse culture. But I feel like a lot of that culture, a lot of the growth that has even happened over the last couple of years has been a lot of it's just been really disconnected. So coming out of the pandemic with such an artsy city, I know of so many local podcasts. So I'm just really excited about a chance. And from what I know, I think we're doing this really for the first time. Like there's no one else doing it.
Yeah, there's no one event like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are giving the city of Louisville an opportunity to network together around podcasting specifically. And I'm really excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah. So we all went to 1020 Brewery, which is where the event's taking place. And in the middle of the event, I turned to Chris and I said, well, Chris, you've been to more events, trade shows than probably everybody in the room put together. So what were your top level thoughts on the event space?
It's an excellent space. It was really cool. I liked the whole theme about the whole thing, or, the different, what is kind of industrial type look to the whole thing. That was kind of, is it an old brewery? Is that the thing?
I'm not sure what that building was, but they basically kept a lot of the exposed concrete
really
and
strange,
the exposed ceiling. It was a really good fit for, an event being put on by, the Speakeasy.
Yeah. It's in Nulu, which is kind of just a really cool part of the city that's being progressively renovated and has shown a lot of growth over the last couple of years too.
Yeah, absolutely. What else did you think about the space, Chris?
Well, I think it's going to fit all our people really nice. We're kind of going around, seeing how the chairs are going to go in and each booth and how the vendors are going to be sat. And, it's going to be nice and comfortable. You can't have, when you have these big giant events and then you book some place that's too small and everybody's shoulder to shoulder, it doesn't work out, especially with the heat too. A lot of people don't realize, you pack a bunch of people into a small place, it gets hot real quick. So especially being down here in Kentucky, you're going to get roasted.
Kentucky June.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think it's open enough and it's going to be great.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm excited about it. This was something that we've wanted to do for years, literally years since we opened Speakeasy in 2020. We talked about, we got to do more events, but middle of the pandemic, what do? You can't really do things like that. So this is something that we're hoping to do at least annually. Like the summit, I think, is going to be the annual kind of flagship event, but we want to do a lot of educational things for business owners, for hobbyists. How do you do podcasting in a meaningful way? What are the best ways to do it at home? What about in a studio, with another service? So it's definitely not for my main goal for the event is not to see how many people we can get into the Speakeasy Podcast Network. It's to see how many podcasters we can actually get in the city to up their podcasting game to the next level. Because the more quality podcasts that are out there, the better it's going to be for everybody, because all those genres need quality, consistent, well-produced podcasts.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'll give people an opportunity, one, to just network, but then ultimately just be on other people's shows. They're going to get a chance to meet other creators. I know personally of several of those that are already involved in our network that are coming.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to meet a whole bunch of awesome new people, maybe show up as a guest, find some sponsors, who knows?
Yeah, and I do actually have a special guest that's going to be on the stage with me talking podcasts, so I'm not going to reveal the guest. But
Nice.
I'm really excited about it. I locked him in yesterday, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And this dude's been doing podcasting the exact correct way that you should be doing it. That's the summit. So it's June 16th. It's at 6 p.m. You can go to speakeasynetwork.com. All the events are at the banner on the top, or all the information's at the banner on the top. Click on it. There's tickets. This comes out April 29th. And the pre-sale for the tickets, they're $50 a piece. They're down to $40 right now until May 1st. So if you get your tickets by May 1st, you'll save 20%. And then there's still a few sponsorship opportunities left as well. But Johnston was texting me today. He's got some pretty major sponsors lined up. I was pretty excited about that. So it'll be really cool. People are really excited about this medium and really excited about a bunch of people that love this medium getting together and talking about it and learning from each other.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited to be there. I'm going to be emceeing, so come and enjoy me in most likely a bird shirt, talking about all kinds of awesome stuff, everything podcasting.
We're going to remote Chris in from the beach.
Right, yeah. Sadly, I won't be there. I'm going to be on vacation.
Oh, man, I thought you were coming, taking a break from your vacation just for that.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we can do that.
We'll fly you in. We'll get the helicopter out there for you.
Yeah.
I like that. It's just a one-night event. This is a special guest.
All right.
All right, so I want to talk about something that has been really interesting. It's a project you and Andrew have been working on. So Andrew, you can turn your mic on as well if you would be so kind. And I want to talk about Life in Lou for a minute. So basically, Life in Lou is a podcast that you and Andrew had created. And tell me about the mission of the show, and then also some of the events and people that you've had on thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll maybe talk a little bit about the vision, and then you could just talk about some of our recent successes, Andrew. But I want to say maybe 3 or 4 months ago, Andrew and I were talking, and we're like, man, we're hilarious, and we do really well just talking to each other, and we're we're at least hilarious when we're talking one-on-one. Why don't we just share that with the world, perhaps? That's not exactly how the conversation went, but we were just talking about both of us, each with 2 young children, trying to get back into the community after the pandemic, living in such an awesome city like Louisville, and we're like, man, we should try and see if we can get some other people involved with this. So the main purpose of the show is to essentially invite people to family-friendly events all around the city of Louisville. And if you're from Louisville, or if you just have passed through once or twice before, you can see very quickly that this is a city that really cares about its culture. People are proud to be from Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah. There's so many awesome things here, whether that's horse culture or bourbon culture, music, food. There's just a ton of things for people to come together and celebrate. And so we wanted to kind of reach out to as many people as we possibly could and get people involved coming to those events. So we've had a really good time. Andrew, tell us a little bit about who we've talked to thus far.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was really well put. I don't think you left much for me to say in that arena. But we've had, let's see, the first one was the mayor of J-Town and his art program manager, Emily Viascas. Shout out, Emily. And they were showcasing the Jeffersontown Art and Culture Festival in J-Town. Our second guest was
Miss Kathy from the Louisville International Food Truck Festival, which is dropping May 14th, so not quite here yet. But if you're in town on that during that time,
you guys have dropped one episode. So far.
We've dropped one episode coming up on number 2.
2 in the can right now.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Yeah, and then the third person that you had on was super interesting. I was actually here while you guys were recording it. So Andrew, who was your most recent guest?
Our most recent guests were Gary Jacob, the founder of Abbey Road on the River Festival, which has been going on for about 20 years here in Louisville. Here in this region. It was initially started up in Ohio, moved to Louisville back in 2005, and about 5 years ago moved to Jeffersonville, Indiana. And we got one of his co-producers who came on with Abbey Road on the River about 5 or 6 years ago, Miss Melissa Brum, who quickly rose through the ranks just because of her tenacity, her go-getter attitude, and, of course, her love of the Beatles. The festival is amazing. It encompasses kind of the essence of the Beatles, and it touches on why so many people love them and the impact that they've had around the world. It's incredible. I've been a handful of times at least. I hope it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
That's cool. Yeah, and just the amount of passion that they had when they came in, like it fills the room. And again, they're not talking to an audience in here.
No.
But you can just tell how pumped they are about, all things Beatles culture and getting this event spun up. It's really neat.
That is cool. I have a Louisville question.
Yeah.
What is thunder?
So it is.
We're talking about this.
We have just random people walking by being like, "You going to Thunder? You been to Thunder?"
Or there was some ladies last night at the bar that we were at. And they were just like, they were yelling Thunder. Yeah. Did you go to Thunder?
That sounds a little obnoxious, man. Yeah. So let me, maybe Andrew and I can take turns on this as well. I'm not from here.
Did you just call Thunder obnoxious?
No, just the ladies at the establishment. No. Well, I don't know. Okay. So basically, like from an outsider's perspective, Thunder is kind of one of the big parties that kicks off Derby.
Okay.
So this is sometime around when our city swells by about 1.5 million people. Huh. So they shut down a bridge like 3 days ahead of time. And from my perspective, driving around in my little minivan, I'm just like, I can't get anywhere. Why are all these people here? But it is a air show. There's a whole bunch of planes that come through. And then I think it's the second largest fireworks show in the nation. Oh. And I grew up like seeing plenty of fireworks shows. Right. But the first time I saw Thunder fireworks, I was like, man, those are some pretty cool fireworks. I mean, it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool.
So like Disney fireworks or bigger?
Like they have a whole bridge and they shoot off. I think it's like $15 million worth of fireworks or something.
They try to blow up the bridge.
It's pretty intense. I have seen me some fireworks. It's the best fireworks show I've ever seen.
Wow,
hands down.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that sounds way more fancy than like what people were articulating.
Well, and what it looks like practically is a bunch of people baking in the sun for 8 to 10 hours, watching 1 to 2 planes drive by an hour. It is kind of. I may have went to Andrew's girl's birthday party that day. I didn't even go.
Yeah. we may have to cut all this together, but I don't know. Joel likes to, I think, pull numbers out his but he's not wrong.
It sounds like he's downselling the event, and I feel like Andrew's really upset that
he's
what
offended.
He said. Yeah, he's offended.
Well, as a Louisville native, I have to defend Thunder to an extent. The city does shut down. It can be a pain in the butt to drive that particular day, but it is a gigantic celebration. It can be a little intimidating at times because of the influx of people. In some cases, in some areas, it's a drunk fest. So you have to navigate the terrain carefully. But the air show is incredible. There are more than 2 or 3 planes going by in an hour.
Just commercial jets.
They flew a big old UPS
Boeing
plane,
747.
down.
Because the way Joel's making it sound, it looks like it's held near the airport. That way, they really don't need proper planes to come in and do like an air show. Right. It's just it's just like Delta or Spirit.
Right. A bunch of commercial flights coming in.
Sprung for Southwest this year.
Yeah. And then, of course, it culminates with the fireworks show that typically lasts between 30 and 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
At the end of the night.
Crazy.
That is a really long show.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I saw some Facebook Lives from some people that I follow in Louisville, and they were like popping out of their camper or whatever whatever the on-site facilities are. And it looked incredible.
Yeah, and so I guess for people that haven't never been there, it's actually over the Ohio River. It's a bridge spanning between Indiana and Kentucky, and they shut down that whole bridge, and then they shoot the fireworks off like under the bridge, and of course up above it. It's pretty cool. So it looks pretty cool on the water.
Okay, nice. So that's Thunder. So I feel like we learned
cultural.
We learned what we needed to. Because we were like all week, like I was seeing people like, you going to Thunder? It was on like Facebook and stuff. And I was like, what the hell is Thunder? So then I Googled it last night or the night before. And I was like, oh, it was like Thunder over Louisville or something. I forget what it was. So I've heard this too. So this is me just being straight up from Michigan. But Thurby, is that Thirsty Derby, or is that an event that takes place on the Thursday before Derby, or is it both?
The latter. Well, now that you put it that way, probably both. But it's mainly because it's a day at the Downs, Churchill Downs, for you other Michiganders that don't know any better.
Yeah, I know. Well, look at us with all our technology, not watching horse racing and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Thursday at the Downs, the Thursday right before Oaks Day and Derby weekend.
Okay.
From my perspective, again, from being out of town, it's when all the people that are actually from Louisville care to drive into the city to watch the horses race and drink, of course. Like all the people from the south of town they're like, I ain't going into no city on Derby Day. They recover from there.
Again, listeners, I think you should probably not tune Joel out in this particular segment because he may not be completely wrong, but it's an incredible day again, just for people. Thursday, especially for a lot of local people to get dressed up fancy and Sunday's best, I suppose, and show up on Thursday at the Downs, blow a little money on horses, and have some mojitos.
Got it.
Mojitos. What am I talking about? Mint juleps.
Yeah. I was gonna say you almost acted like you were from out of town.
Yeah, are you from there, bro?
Yeah, Joel's rubbing off on me. What did I say?
Yeah, he is from Colorado.
It's true.
They don't have any events out there. They watch the ice melt on the mountains.
We should have put that out as a disclaimer in the beginning of this
I grew
episode.
up around the Olathe Corn Festival, and it was real nice. I saw Sticks there once, actually.
We would ask you to tell us more about it. But
no, like the band Sticks from forever ago.
Well, it's a corn festival.
Like Mr. Roboto Sticks. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, I think I might miss Thunder to go to that next year.
Yeah, said no one ever.
The Olathe Corn Festival.
Yeah. Where's that at?
Olathe.
I know. Where's that at?
It's
You're acting like it's like Aruba or something.
No. It's a city of about 16,000 people. There's a lot of strange festivals in Colorado.
I thought he was going to say 15 or 16 people.
That's what I was
saying.
Yeah,
there's probably and when I was growing up, it was probably like 1,500 people. So, but they also have like a Mike the Headless Chicken festival around those parts as well. There's this chicken that got its head cut off, and then it lived for like 8 or 10 years afterwards, and they have a festival about him now.
Wow.
Colorado.
Woo. I gotta say this. Louisville has nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to Thunder.
No.
Olathe,
Colorado.
You guys need to get those people on Life in Louisville. It has nothing to do with Louisville at all. And I need some questions answered.
Yeah.
I'll get on that. All
right. Because holy cow, Mike the Headless Chicken Festival feels like who's going to sponsor that? It's like, oh yeah,
it was a big deal, man. I used to love going to that thing.
What do they do?
Funnel cakes, usual festival stuff. Okay. It was mostly it's just a normal city festival.
Cut the head off a chicken and try to like recreate it.
No, but there's like a straight up statue of Mike the Headless Chicken in the city about an hour away that
nice.
that Mike used to reside in.
Is his head part of the statue?
No.
Like laying at his little chicken feet?
I mean, it's a statue of a pretty regular chicken, just without a head. That's really the only difference.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Olathe. In what state is that?
This is Western Colorado.
Western Colorado. All right. Very good. I learned things.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. A thorough explanation of Joel's personality and humor.
The shirts are starting to make sense now. Putting it all together.
It's true.
No, you. Oh, go ahead, Andrew. Sorry.
I just wanted to state for the record, since we are recording here, that he is one of my favorite human beings.
My man.
That's good. That's nice. That's a nice way to put the bread on top of that shit sandwich that you built prior to that.
That's right. I had to.
That was good. Yeah. So that Life in Lou. Wow, what a turn that took. I got to learn about the Thunder, some Headless Chicken Festival. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. So really, this is the events podcast of everything that's coming up. So Life in Lou, we'll put a link to that in the show notes for sure. Episode 1's out. Episode 2 drops.
I believe next Tuesday. So that should be the 2nd of May.
Very good. So and you guys are bi-weekly right now.
Yeah.
Very good. And then so then we have the podcast summit coming up on June 16th, and then we have a bunch of other things in the fall that we're getting ready to announce out of our Brighton Speakeasy. So really cool stuff coming your way. Chris, anything else before we wrap up?
No, I think that's it, man. I got my questions answered about Thunder. Good. Thunder and corn festivals and headless chickens.
Oh man, we know how to party.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah. If you guys are doing it right, I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
So, all right, Andrew. Anything else before we wrap up?
No, I don't think so. I will say Life in Lou, we intend to release bi-weekly, but given that we're featuring 2 events per month, we want to make sure that we release the episodes in a timely manner, that in a way that benefits the festival in terms of their promotion of it and ticket sales and whatnot. So, but there will be 2 a month, hopefully bi-weekly, but maybe a little more random.
So pay attention to the social pages.
Look out for those drops. Absolutely. Follow us on Facebook. We got a Facebook up detailing kind of some of the goings on. We're trying to hit a lot of those events, Andrew and I, with our kids. I got a chance to go out to the Jeffersontown Art and Culture Festival last Saturday and had a lot of fun. So, hope to see you there to the local Louisvillians.
Cool. That's a nice show. You guys are doing a nice job on that.
Thanks, man.
All right, gang. Well, that is going to wrap up this week's edition of Waynecast. Appreciate y'all listening. Joel and Andrew, thanks for joining us. Chris, we are heading back to Michigan today.
We are hitting the road.
And that's going to be it for this week's episode. So we'll see y'all on the next one. Take care.